BRICS versus USA, a global economic showdown in a multipolar world. As the world moves further into a multipolar era, the economic rivalry between the United States and the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is heating up. What was once seen as a loosely connected group of emerging markets has now matured into a formidable bloc with expanding influence. With potential additions like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Egypt, and the UAE, BRICS is no longer just a future contender. It's a present-day force to be reckoned with. Economic output, who's bigger? When it comes to nominal GDP, the United States remains the largest single economy, with an estimated output of around $28 trillion in 2025. However, the combined economies of BRICS now rival that, reaching between $29 and $30 trillion. This rise is largely thanks to China's economic scale and India's rapid growth. Looking at purchasing power parity, PPP, which adjusts GDP for the cost of living, BRICS dramatically surpasses the United States. While the U.S. remains at $28 trillion, BRICS climbs to an estimated $55 to $60 trillion. This is mainly due to the relatively lower prices in countries like China and India, which make their economic activity appear much larger in PPP terms. Wealth per person, a stark divide. Despite BRICS' impressive size, its average citizen is far less wealthy than their American counterpart. The United States enjoys a nominal GDP per capita of around $84,000, reflecting its advanced infrastructure, higher wages, better health care, and stronger consumer spending. In contrast, BRICS countries have wide disparities. China and Russia sit at about $13,000, Brazil around $10,000, South Africa at $6,500, and India much lower at about $3,000. These figures illustrate the economic gaps within the bloc and the ongoing development challenges many BRICS countries still face. Technology and industry, innovation wars. The U.S. continues to dominate global technological innovation. Home to giants like Apple, Google, Tesla, Microsoft, and Nvidia, America leads in sectors ranging from biotech and finance to space exploration and artificial intelligence. It also spends the most on research and development and has the highest number of unicorn startups. BRICS shows strength too, primarily through China, which is a major player in 5G, solar energy, electric vehicles, and large-scale manufacturing. India has gained recognition in software services and made headlines with its space missions like Chandrayaan. Russia still maintains military and energy tech prowess. Brazil and South Africa, however, lag behind in high-tech sectors, contributing more in agriculture and mining. While BRICS is making progress, the U.S. remains the innovation leader, with China being the most significant challenger. Growth momentum, the engines of the future. In terms of growth, BRICS has the upper hand. India is expected to grow by 6.5% to 7.0% in 2025, making it the fastest-growing major economy. China is slowing slightly, but still expanding at 4.5% to 5.0%. Meanwhile, the U.S., as a mature economy, is growing more modestly at around 2.0% to 2.5%. Russia, Brazil, and South Africa are hovering between 1.5% and 2.5%, constrained by sanctions, political challenges, and economic instability. Despite some slow performers, the BRICS bloc, driven by India and China, holds the momentum, pointing to a future where growth is increasingly centered in the East and global South. Natural resources, a wealth of the earth. Both the U.S. and BRICS are rich in natural resources, but the latter boasts sheer volume. Russia leads with vast reserves of oil, gas, uranium, and metals. Brazil exports iron, ore, soybeans, and oil. South Africa has abundant gold, platinum, and rare minerals. China dominates in rare earth elements and is heavily investing in energy assets across Africa. India also has coal and iron, and it's expanding its renewable energy footprint. The U.S., however, is no slouch. It's the world's top oil and gas producer and holds significant coal, timber, and farmland reserves. Moreover, it excels in extraction, processing, and export technology, giving it an edge in efficiency and environmental standards. Financial influence, dollar versus alternatives. When it comes to global finance, the U.S. still rules. The dollar is the world's primary reserve currency, and America maintains dominance over the International Monetary Fund, IMF, the World Bank, and the SWIFT payment network. Wall Street sets the tone for global markets. BRICS is actively seeking to shift this balance. The new development bank, NDB, also known as the BRICS Bank, aims to reduce reliance on Western institutions. Member countries are exploring trade in local currencies like the rupee, yuan, and ruble. There are even whispers of a unified BRICS currency, but such an initiative is still far from reality. For now, the US dollar remains king. Military power and global influence. On the geopolitical front, the United States retains unmatched military might. With over 700 military bases around the globe, leadership of NATO, and supremacy in air, sea, and cyber warfare, the US is still the world's security anchor. BRICS has its own strengths. Russia and China are formidable military powers with significant nuclear capabilities and regional influence. India is also emerging as a regional military heavyweight. However, Brazil and South Africa play more modest roles. While BRICS is forging new strategic alliances, it cannot yet match America's global military footprint. Soft power, the battle of influence. Soft power, the ability to attract and persuade through culture, values, and lifestyle, is another area where the U.S. remains dominant. Hollywood, global music, top-tier universities, and values like freedom and innovation give America a global cultural edge. BRICS nations are making strides. Bollywood has global reach, China's cultural exports are growing, and even K-pop from neighboring South Korea contributes to a broader regional influence. Still, BRICS trails behind the United States in global perception and cultural influence. The final verdict, a shifting world order. Today, the United States and the BRICS nations stand on nearly equal footing in terms of total economic output, but they remain worlds apart in terms of wealth per person, technological leadership, and financial control. BRICS is rising fast with stronger growth, vast resources, and strategic alliances that are beginning to challenge Western dominance. Yet this is not just a contest of power. The 21st century is likely to be defined by both cooperation and competition. The global economy is too interconnected for any single player to go it alone. Issues like climate change, pandemics, and global security require collaboration between old powers and rising ones. BRICS is no longer a passive player, it is shaping the future. And while the United States remains a global superpower, it must now share the stage in an increasingly multipolar world.